Another article about fake news. Well, let's get to debunking this. Welcome to Republican Talks, everybody. I'm your host, Kenneth Glenn. And today I've seen this article a couple days ago by NBC News. Or CBS News, sorry. CBS News. I'll put the link in the description below. And it's talking about the Rittenhouse. It's talking about some of the Rittenhouse situation. And the title of the article is Rittenhouse posed for a photo with Proud Boys supporters while on bail. So I'm gonna read to you this article, and I'm gonna go through it. And if whatever is false, I'm gonna say it's false. And if something's true, I will say it's true. And we're also gonna look at other things on the way there. All right, so I'm gonna read the article. I'm gonna read through this whole thing, and hopefully we don't lose too many brain cells here. All right, so. Kyle Rittenhouse, the teenager charged with killing 2 people during the protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin over the summer, was recently spotted drinking at a bar and posing for photos apparently with apparent Proud Boys, symbolizers after being released from jail on a $2 million bond. Prosecutors say, so this is a claim that prosecutors claimed, that he has been posing for photos with Proud Boys, which I don't doubt. I'm pretty sure the Proud Boys are all about Kyle Rittenhouse. But, I mean, this shirt's kind of useless now. He's already free, but I don't know how much longer he's going to be free for. I don't know if the court case is going to be fair or not. I'm going to continue here. Now, prosecutors in the state have filed a motion to modify Rittenhouse's bond conditions. Because how dare he leave his house on bond? Rittenhouse, who was a 17 at the time of the shooting, he still is 17. I don't know why you need to bring up that he was 17 at the time of the shooting if he's still 17. I mean, was charged as an adult because the adult age, I think, in Kenosha or in Wisconsin is 17, with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted homicide. All right, that's a funny word, isn't it? Attempted homicide. Because Kyle Rittenhouse tried his hardest to kill that guy, and he just failed at it, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's, you know how difficult it is to kill somebody with a firearm, you know? You know how, I mean, this is so ridiculous how they said, so, fine. He's been charged so far with 2 counts of first-degree homicide. And 1 count of attempted homicide. As if he could not complete the homicide. He didn't attempt to kill the guy. He just had to defend himself. I can show you the clip right here. Anyways, we're going to move on. He also faces charges of recklessly endangering the safety of 2 other victims and possessing a weapon while under the age of 18. Okay, well, let's debunk this part. He faces charges for recklessly endangering the safety of 2 other victims. So, reckless endangerment, fine, because there's a law called reckless endangerment where if you shoot a firearm and it doesn't go in the area where it's supposed to, or the projectile, the ballistics, don't go in the area that it's supposed to go to, that can be counted as reckless endangerment. That's what one of the cops in the Breonna Taylor case got charged with reckless endangerment, because when he shot into the apartment, he actually hit another apartment wall next to him, so he got charged with reckless endangerment also. So I'm not super mad about reckless endangerment safety violations, but recklessly endangering 2 of the other victims. Do you want to know who the 2 other victims were? The guys who attacked him. Those were the 2 other victims. And then it goes, and possessing a weapon while under the age of 18. even though first of all, he doesn't necessarily own the firearm. His stepdad bought it for him. And second of all, in the state of Wisconsin, you can open carry a rifle or a shotgun as long as you are the age of 16. That's what Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyer found out. On January 5th, he pleaded not guilty to all the charges. So some of the stuff's been true so far. Other stuff has been incorrect. According to the motion filed by the prosecutor, after his arraignment on January 5th, Rittenhouse was seen drinking at a pub. I'm guessing that's like an alcoholic place, a bar or something like that, in Mount Pleasant in Wisconsin. The Associated Press reports, although he is 18, he was legally allowed to drink in Wisconsin since he was with his mother. And I'm thinking he could still go as long as he doesn't drink any alcoholic beverages, because I know even my uncle, when he was younger, he was able to go to the bar with my mom, even though he wasn't old enough to drink. But you just can't drink alcohol. You can't partake in alcoholic beverages. Prosecutors say that Rittenhouse posed with two men for a photo, and they all made OK symbols with their hands. You know, this thing. A gesture used by white supremacists. I'm not kidding. That's literally what it says right there. A gesture used by white supremacists. Right there in blue. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's what it says right there. A gesture used by white supremacists. Alright, so I'm going to click on that real quick. And it just sent me to another article. I'm not going to read another article. So, the whole OK symbol, I'm not sure what that came from with the whole white supremacy thing. I'm pretty sure it's a historical thing more than it is a more recent. It's not, I don't think it's a more modern thing. But I remember last year, a bunch of veterans came home from war, and they were doing like that circle tag game where, you do this underneath your waist, and if you get somebody to look at it, you win. That's pretty much like the point of the game. And they were playing that, and they also got called white supremacists for playing that game, the circle tag game, because this is a white supremacist symbol. Okay? Literally everybody who has done this is a white supremacist, according to what this says. Because since that's a white supremacist gesture, every single person who has said that and done that is a white supremacist. Men at the bar also played a song called Proud of Your Boy for Rittenhouse, which is used as a Proud Boys anthem. I don't know what the big deal with that is. So now I was going to talk about the Proud Boys. So now we're going to talk about the Proud Boys now. Proud Boys are a right-wing extremist group known for more anti-Muslim and misogynistic rhetoric. Yeah, that's what that says too. Anti-Muslim. So what they did there, something very sneaky they did there. They said anti-Muslim, where in reality they're actually anti-Islamic. There's a difference between anti-Muslim and anti-Islamic. Muslim is a race, where Islamic is a religion. Very sneaky there. Very, very sneaky. Because the Proud Boys are actually anti-Islamic. There's a lot of things in the Islamic doctrine that they disagree with. And misogynistic rhetoric. I'm pretty sure they say that about any Trump supporter. Even if you are a female Trump supporter, you're a misogynist for some reason. I don't know. They don't show any evidence of the misogynistic rhetoric, so I don't know what they're talking about. Alright, so next sentence. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center and Advocacy Center organization... Oh, sorry. Let me restart that. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center and Advocacy Center, or organization, that tracks hate groups... Southern Poverty Law Center that tracks hate groups. Hold on a second. Who runs it? Oh, wait, look at that. An Antifa member runs it. It's led by an open Antifa member. And he dressed like Fidel Castro a lot. Kind of looks like Jorge Masvidal, actually. Anyways, so obviously this article is not the sources that they're using are definitely not biased at all. Okay. Advocacy organization that tracks hate groups. A Proud Boy leader was arrested in Washington, D.C. ahead of the riots last week. Okay, yeah, I can agree that the riots were bad. And some members have been identified as part of the pro-Trump mob that attacked the Capitol. I wouldn't necessarily say, like, attacked. I mean, what happened was not very appropriate, but if you really watch some of the videos, they weren't, not everybody there was attacking stuff. I mean, most of the people, I'm going to be honest, a lot of them were still peaceful. Even the people sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desks and stuff like that, they're actually still kind of peaceful if you really want to think about it. The Wisconsin prosecutor motion says the defendant continued to associate members of a group that prides itself on violence. Yes, the Proud Boys are so violent, and they're proud to be violent. They're very proud to be violent. Okay, not like Antifa's violent or anything. And they are used. Oh, and the use symbol. Hold up, I'm trying to. Member of the hate group that prides itself on violence, and the use of their symbols raises the significant possibility that future harm. Significant possibility of future harm. Because people who protest the Capitol one day for like 5 or 6 hours. I mean, I get that rioting's bad, and I don't necessarily agree with everything that they did. But future harm? But we're not worried about like BLM or anything. We're not worried about BLM or Antifa. That's just ridiculous. All right, next paragraph. Prosecutors allege that the third night of the protest last August over police shooting of Jacob Blake, a dude who deserved to get shot, a 29-year-old black man who was left paralyzed. That's what happens when you reach for a weapon in your car. Rittenhouse fatally shot Joseph Rosamond, who was a child molester, and Anthony Huber, who was a domestic abuser, and wounded a third person with an AR-style rifle. And guess what? He was able to open carry it, because in Kenosha State, or Wisconsin state law, you can open carry a rifle or a shotgun at the age of 16. Ha ha ha. It was all legal. And by the way, the Joseph Rosamond was this fellow right here. Shoot me! Shoot me! Yeah, that's Joseph Rosamond. Joseph Rosamond chased Kyle Rittenhouse, and Kyle Rittenhouse shot him after he was shot at. I mean, Joseph Rosamond was chasing this dude. He was hauling at him. He threw something at him. I think Anthony Huber was the guy who hit him with a skateboard. He hit Kyle with a skateboard over head like that, and wounded a third person. They don't say what the third person did, or what the third person said after he got shot by Kyle. By the way, the third person that Kyle shot pointed a gun at Kyle Rittenhouse, like dead set at Kyle Rittenhouse, and Kyle shot him in the arm. Kyle got up and walked away. Okay? Do you think Kyle Rittenhouse actually went there to kill people? Or did he go there to defend property that he was hired to do? It's ridiculous. Since the shooting, Rittenhouse has attracted support from right-wing commentators who claim he was acting in self-defense. Right-wing commentators who claim. We don't claim, I just know he was acting in self-defense because look at the tape. He's raised millions of dollars in an online legal defense fund Good. He doesn't deserve to go to jail. He doesn't. He was released from jail on November 20th after posting a $2 million bond, and is scheduled to return to court for another hearing on March 10th. CBS News has reached out to Kenosha County District Attorney and Rittenhouse's attorney for comment, and will update you on any other story responses. With any response. So basically, they take the whole Kyle Rittenhouse situation and they take the Proud Boys and they basically flip it on their head like Undertaker, dude. I mean, these guys are not... Alright, so I did a quick Google search real quick. And I want to see what people think what Proud Boys means. So I'm on Wikipedia, which I actually think is a very accurate source, by the way. I hear people all the time, oh, well, it can be edited. Well, anything can be edited online, so that doesn't make any source any more reliable than any other. Okay, so Wikipedia says this. The Proud Boys is a far-right, neo-fascist, male-only political organization that promotes and engages in political violence. Proud Boys? Male-only? It's a little on the nose, don't you think? A little on the nose. Don't think you need to explain that one to me. Maybe there are people out there, though, who didn't understand that in the first place. Let me guess now. They have to explain that the Spice Girls were only girls, too? Neo-fascist. And they engage in political violence. Okay. Whatever. So that's what Wikipedia says, even though they show no evidence of them actually partaking in violence. Now let's read Antifa. Antifa Wikipedia page. Antifa is a left-wing, anti-fascist, anti-racist political movement in the United States, highly decentralized and compromised array of autonomous groups that aim to achieve their objectives through both means of non-violent and violent direct action. They're anti-fascists that achieve their objective through violence. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back. Antifa is an anti-fascist political movement that aims to achieve their goals through both non-violent and violent direct action. You can't make this stuff up. You can tell how biased the media is and how biased the big tech Google and Bing actually are. So then now I'm going to read what fascism actually means, because I'm going to read it on Google first, and then I'm going to read to you what it actually means in an actual dictionary that's not biased at all. Fascism is a form of far-right authoritarianism or ultra-nationalism, characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression, and forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimen of society of the economy, which came whatever. So they are an ultra-nationalism characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition. Hey, doesn't that sound familiar? Didn't Antifa, shut down a bookstore or something like that? Or tell bookstores to stop selling a certain book? Didn't Twitter shut down Trump's page? Huh. Weird. What have the Proud Boys done? Not much so far. I've seen lack of evidence showing the Proud Boys being fascist. But yet, these are all the same websites, by the way. This is all Wikipedia. Wikipedia is saying the Proud Boys is a far-right, neo-fascist, neo-male-only organization. And Antifa is an anti-fascist organization that aims to achieve their goals through violent direct action, also or non-violent. And fascism is far-right authoritarian ultra-nationalism characterized by dictatorial power, which is usually violent, in my opinion. I've never seen a dictator be not violent before. Forcibly suppression of opposition. Who are the real fascists, folks? Alright, now that I promised Webster Dictionary, I'm going to read you what they think what fascism means. So fascism, system of government characterized by dictatorship, belligerence, nationalism, racism, and militarism. So if you don't know what belligerence is usually aggressive or violent. That's usually what that word means. Nationalism usually means like extreme patriotism. Like you would serve your country no matter what. Like it's like very, very extreme. Think about the best way to explain that would be like Islamic terrorism. I mean, they're very patriotic in what they do. They're very far radical, usually. Not all, but the radical ones are usually like that. Racism, like, you know what that is. If you disagree with a Democrat, that's what that means. And militarism, I'm guessing that means like the military enforces everything, kind of like similar to dictatorship. So yeah, you tell me. Belligerence, violent. Oh, do you want to know what word violent was in? Was it with the Proud Boys or Antifa? Oh, it was with Antifa. Look at that. All right. Well, I hope you liked the video, guys. Please leave a comment, subscribe for more. I'm out. I hope you learned something new. See you guys later.
Hey, Donald Trump is your president, and if you like it or not.